I want to say a quick thing about nature that other people just don't see because they never really were there. And I don't say that to be rude or mean. I say it because I know. Like a simple way to not I guess show an example is when people talk about like Andromedans and people like that coming to Earth and at the same time they promote their channel and ask for Patreon, stuff because we're down here on Earth, and even though these guys are going to come and they believe in it so much, they need your money to support them because think about it. Would the Andromedans or the Arcadians or the Syrians want to come down here, and would they be able to do anything with Earth money? No, they wouldn't even care about it. They would think you were ridiculous to even think about that. So if anyone who's talking like that really thinks they are, and they're still asking for money, I'm letting them know now that they've got to stop asking for money if they really believe that those people are coming to save us, because those people want nothing to do with money. And if you think they're going to save us, we wouldn't need the money. So now I want to move on to what I think is really interesting, because people haven't understood. Say a father says he'd give his life for his children. And that doesn't mean the way nature does. For example, when praying mantises or spiders are the kind of thing that will mate, and as soon as they mate and have impregnated the female will kill the father and then eventually eat it or feed it to the children. If you understood the fact that not only would they give their life for their children, they do. And it's not like they have this ego attachment of, don't kill me. They're like, hey, I'm passing on. And now instead of each of those little spiders doesn't have a little ego going, will I make Father happy? Will I make Father happy? I'll make Father happier than you did. Instead, Father is now all these different little spiders who do exactly what Father is doing. And that's what God does, in a way where the ego that each of us have doesn't really matter, because Father, what comes further in the future, the energy of forward motion, and Mother, matter of the earth, and Mother of like all things that stay still but remain in motion as they move, but they supply. Like it's the constant supply, whether it's motion, matter, or Mother, Mata, Maya, those kind of things. But if you didn't have Father to move it forward and give it force and give it something to show for it paternally, like the things that make things happen, if there wasn't for that, between the two, I sort of lost exactly where I was going there, but that's okay.
Since we have the emotions we could always use it for a greater thing. Since a father isn't going to get killed and eaten,
Yeah.
while a human baby especially, is born and raised, they could then spend that time they're going to have teaching the kid how to live in the world and to help themselves and other people in the process, just by being helpful and a good person.
Yeah. And instead of the only downside is sometimes that the children each go to say, will I make Father happier? Or Father will pick one over the others, unlike the fact that if you feed yourself to your kids to make sure that they succeed to go on, then that ego problem that we develop is the bad part. So having a real dad and a real life father is much different than knowing what the meaning of the true Father is, what comes forward in the future, what we impregnate our thoughts with and we put forth into action is Father. So other than going too much deeper into that part of it, the point was to say that we don't have to, if we could shed the part of worrying about comparing to each other, we'd realize that we are all that one original, say, spider that does give its life for its kids. And now we represent that when we talk about it in earth terms, about Christ sacrificing himself for all others. Like Jesus died for our sins. Our sin is a sign. It's a shine of sun. We are a soul of light meeting a soil of earth. And that becomes sin, as in you shine from a light, and this is your sign. And in that sign, we have a language. In that language is your symbols. And your symbols becomes you. And you are the symbiote or the celestial being. That kind of weird stuff that I spit out like that may miss a bunch of translated terms in the middle, but that's literally how we work. And we always have. It's just people haven't talked like that for such a long time because they didn't know how to. And I'm going to stop at that because when I say they didn't know how to, that actually means in a different dimension. That is a real dimension that was once a civilization. And that's weird to talk about. So I'll leave it at stuff that makes sense and might even cut that part off. In fact, I know I won't just because I thought about it and I want to be as honest because this is the kind of weird stuff that I do know. Even though I do say a lot of sensible stuff. Yeah, as soon as I'd say really something that's just out of the normal for people, they go like, he's weird and he has no idea what he's talking about. What's weird is they have no idea that everything possible is true, and some of it is really happening right now. And it's too spooky to face. But if we don't, then we're screwed. Because if you don't know about it and aren't prepared, then you just are scared until it comes and gets you. And why would we do that? It's clowning around. It's clowning around with our own lives, and it doesn't make any sense to want to do that. I don't think. Do you?
I don't think so.
Anyway.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, we're going to head to the house. Peace.
Yeah, peace.